Hello and welcome to everybody for this exciting prep call for the Healthy You Cleanse. We're so excited that you decided to join us. And I really want to say a special welcome to you if you're new, if this is your first time cleansing, or if you're new to using doTERRA's products or oils, welcome to you. And I want you to know that you're in a great group, really, really good company. We're super excited to have you. So I am hosting this class with one of my amazing mentors, Dr. Josie Schmidt. You're going to meet in a minute. You can say hi, Josie, if you want.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
And we are going to share with you some best practices. We're going to take you through some myth busters about cleansing. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about why we cleanse, like why do we do it? What's happening in the body and what can the results be? And then we're going to talk specifically about the phases and about your food choices. So this is a really important call and we're super excited you're here. There will be time to ask a few questions at the end. So please hold your questions. You can jot them down if you think you're going to forget. And if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, that would be awesome because we're recording this call for people that couldn't be with us live. So once again, thank you so much for being here. And let's start by settling into ourselves for just a quick minute. If you would, find a comfortable upright posture. So if you're seated on a chair or a sofa, or you're seated on the floor, like I'm on a cushion on the floor, just take the time to connect with your seat and elongate your spine. And then I'm going to ask you to take one hand, if you're willing, and place it on your heart and one on your belly. And if you're comfortable, you can gently close your eyes. We're going to take a few breaths together. So inhaling nice and deep and slow all the way in till you can no longer take in air. And then you're going to exhale out all the way till you're on empty. And then once again, inhaling nice and deep and slow. Relax your jaw and your throat. Soften your eyes. Exhaling slowly and completely. One more time, a third conscious breath here. Inhaling, feeling the side ribs, the back ribs expand as you inhale nice and slowly. And then softening the cheekbones, the shoulders, releasing any tension as you exhale. Beautiful, thank you. And then you can keep your eyes closed for just another minute here. I want you to connect with your why. Perhaps you're here to join a group. Maybe you're interested in cleansing to boost your metabolism and maybe lose some weight. Or perhaps you know that a gut reboot is going to help your mood, help uplift you emotionally. Whatever you're here for, just connect with your why. You can even jot it down if you like. What are some of the reasons you're interested in doing a deep dive into cleansing and revitalizing your gut and digestive health? Nice. Thank you so much for doing this. Our why is a really big reason to cleanse, right? It's individual. We're all different. And it's a very important thing to know before, during, and after the cleanse, right? Some days are going to be easier than others. And if we have a why, we'll remember. We'll go back to these notes we've just jotted down, and it'll give us help. It'll fortify us. Okay, so thanks for doing that little exercise with me. I'm really into affirmations and intentions. I believe our intentions create our reality. So thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to start out with Mythbusters. Okay, if I had a party hat, I'd put it on, a sound blower, you know, all the crazy things you've ever heard about cleansing. That word cleansing means a lot of different things to different people. So Mythbuster number 1, cleansing means not eating. Has anybody ever thought that? Has anybody ever thought that we're going to just drink a small drink or water, or we're going to be turned into breatharians or something? That is not this cleanse. We are going to have amazing food and food choices. We're just going to be more conscious about our food. Okay. So there's no starvation in this cleanse. You're going to be totally filled up with good food. Okay. Mythbuster number 2, you will feel better right away. Like right away. We're going to start this cleanse and we're going to start to feel lighter and better and energetic and everything. It might be. Some people might just dip their big toe right into the cleanse and start to feel some effects. For most of us, it's going to take a while, right? This is a process. We're going to go through these stages, and it's an evolutionary process. This is why it takes 30 days and it's not happening in 5 days or 3 days. You've seen things like that, right? This is long-term sustainable changes. This is a wonderful, powerful cleanse process. Okay. Myth number 3. Cleansing only affects our physical body. This is not true. We have, I'm a yoga and meditation teacher as well as a natural health coach, and we have different bodies. We have a physical body, we have a mental, emotional body, and we have what's called the causal body or the energetic body. Have you ever been next to someone in a store or someone who's been in a really bad mood and they don't even have to use a word, right? And you get it. You get the message. You can feel their vibes. That's your energetic body. It's powerful, right? And so when we cleanse the physical body, sometimes emotions can come up. Sometimes things we've been stuffing away and haven't dealt with can come up. So I just want you to be aware of this, because it's not uncommon, right? For us to be purifying not just our physical body, but our emotional body and our energetic body. So this is great, right? There's a lot that goes on. Now I want to share some best practices really quickly. I just want to go over this before we get into our slides. Okay. Number 1 is set yourself up for success. Now, what does that mean? How can I do that? Tell your friends and family. Let everyone know that you're cleansing. Get support, right? We don't want to be an island, and you want to have that support around you when you need it. Also, cleanse your house. If you love ice cream, this is a great weekend to pitch that ice cream. Get it out of the house. If you're not going to be using certain condiments that have extra calories and bad fats or something like that, put them in a container and put them towards the back of the refrigerator. Don't tempt yourself with things that are not going to support you. Number 2, simplify your schedule if possible. Okay, make space for this cleanse in your life. And if possible, also try and lower your stress levels. Consciously avoid stressful triggers. Okay, this is going to go a long way because your energy is helping your body to cleanse. And so you don't want to spend your energy on stressful situations and then feel depleted in any way. Okay, number 3 is probably the most important. So this is like something I'm very passionate about it. I teach about it all the time. And in this process, it is paramount to your success. And that is drink the right amount of water. So many of you will know this on this call. Many of you may not, but the new ratio for hydration is you take your body weight, the number, you cut that number in half, and that's how many ounces of water you're supposed to be drinking per day. And with the cleanse, you could even up that. You could even up that amount. So most of us are going to be drinking the citrus water. I have some lime right here. And for you new people and new oilers, I just want to let you know that the citrus oils are very thin in their viscosity, meaning they pour out really fast. So when you're using lemon or grapefruit or lime or wild orange, you want to do a quick motion to try and get 1 or 2 drops. And that's just a little quick pro tip. So please drink your water. The water is the vehicle. It's going to help flush out all these amazing toxins that we're lifting up and liberating, right? We've got to give it a vehicle. Number 4 is reach out for help. We are here to support you. The Facebook group is an amazing place. I'm going to be checking it every single day. I'm going to be posting in it, all different kinds of things, but I'm also going to be listening and I'm going to be looking. And so if you have a question, you want to put something out there, please either direct message me or write on that thread and you will receive support. That's the beauty of this community, right? We're doing this together. You're not alone. And the last one I want to say is make time for self-care. This has been an extremely stressful and challenging year that we've all been through, no matter what. Everyone has a different story. And self-care during a cleansing process is really important. If that's extra time for bathing or doing castor oil packs, or maybe meditating 3 to 5 minutes a day if you're not a meditator, if you are meditating maybe even longer, journaling, stretching, yoga, tai chi, walking, whatever it is, gentle, supportive self-care practices. Okay, sound good? Okay, thanks for that. Taking those little notes. I just want everyone to be very successful in their cleanse. And I know I've done this process several times and a lot of these have been really helpful to me. So I'm going to share my screen and Dr. Josie and I are going to take you through some slides. Great. So welcome again to everybody on this recording. We are super happy that you're here with us. And we want to just talk to you a little bit about why do we cleanse? Why are we cleansing? What is the reason? You know, we are exposed to many toxins that we're not even aware of. It's in our air. It can be in our food, in our water, in different products we're using, cleaners that are around our house, laundry detergent, cosmetics, landscaping, things people use in their gardens. All of these things can be an onslaught of toxic load in our systems. And sadly, this is the world we live in right now. So it's really, really important that we take it seriously. And we do things like this cleanse either once or twice a year to help our body naturally release the toxins. So Dr. Josie mentioned we had leadership recently, and this slide really stood out to me as something I wanted to share with you. These are 2 different news articles that were 1 year apart. The one on the left was from ABC News, which said women on average are exposed to 168 chemicals on their bodies every single day. That was in 2015. 1 year later, yes.
I just wanted to, I think the languaging is important here. Women aren't just passively exposed to 168 chemicals. They are, the verb is putting. They're talking about your lotions, your shampoos, your laundry detergent. Women are actively choosing products and putting them on their bodies, and that is the 168 chemicals. They're not talking about the stuff that's out from, like, you know, automobiles, things that you have no control over. They're talking about things you have control over. So I think that was very important.
Right. I was going to say that after I read.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. We're a 2-headed monster here. It's great. It's great. So that 1 year later, another news article was released saying women put on 515 synthetic chemicals into their body every day without knowing it. And the without knowing was what Dr. Josie was referring to. These are scented lotions. These might be mascara. These might be, right? Things that you don't even realize have toxic load are adding to our toxic load. Really, really important. There's tons of research, by the way. You can do your own searches online about this topic.
Yeah. And a big thing is a really big one that's become much more popular with the advent of essential oils, actually, is the synthetic alternatives, those little things people put into their sockets. that release fragrances that are synthetic, that is a huge load of toxicity. And so,
Plugins.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're very
Aromatic
about that.
plugins. Yeah. They're a real hazard, I would say. So this is the doTERRA pyramid wheel. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but I just want you to know within this cleanse, we're really looking at the bottom tier. We're going to be eating right. We're going to be adding exercise. We're going to be working with lowering our stress and getting good sleep. And we're going to be reducing our toxic load. So yay for us, right? We're being proactive. So we are going to be rebooting our metabolism. And I just want you to know that metabolism is a lot more than just how much you weigh. Metabolism affects our hormones, how our organs function, our skin health and appearance, our weight and digestive system, and our sleep and stress management. So there are so many more reasons to do a gut reboot than you thought possible, really. Okay, so on this slide, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm not going to go crazy and overwhelm you, but the basic reason I wanted to show you this is we have different pathways of elimination. The liver is king. The liver is the top one. But then there's also our colon, right? Our gut and our colon. Our skin is another elimination vehicle, and our kidneys. So Dr. Josie is going to talk a little bit more about this. I just wanted you to see it and be aware of it because so much is going on in our process as we do this cleanse. Okay, so Dr. Josie is going to talk to us about our phase 1 of the cleanse and all that it entails. Take it away, Josie.
Okay, can you go back to that last slide? Asha wasn't going to let me talk about that slide. I'm just going to say, because I love this talking about this stuff. Very quickly, look at those things. Elimination, the colon, elimination from the kidneys, right? And we have elimination from the skin. Those are the 3, and then the liver. These, when I talk about pathways of elimination, or we have an old word that we call it the emunctories in like old naturopathic medicine. This is what we're talking about. And the liver is, we call it the king. I want you to just notice that there's phase 1 and phase 2. Those 2 phases are really important because what we found out more recently with our genetic information is that it's so common, like 50%. So many of us, especially women, have errors in our genetic codes that have to do with these detox pathways, specifically in the liver between phase 1 and phase 2. And when you have, like if people have heard of MTHFR, that's a gene SNP. It's fine if you haven't, but these are the kind of words that get kind of tossed around. Those kind of gene SNPs, they keep you from being able to easily go through those phases. And what's the end result of that? The end result, if you have a gene SNP that makes phase 1 or phase 2 difficult in your liver and it gets a little clogged up, you just think about a clogged drain. That's all you got to think about. You're going to have hormone imbalances, right? That's the first thing you're going to see is as a woman. So you're going to have issues potentially with fertility. You're going to have issues with PMS, with any kind of hormone stuff that you can think of. That's like the easiest thing. You're going to have issues with sometimes your immune system, autoimmunity, things like that. So when we come into this cleanse, and that's like very common for many of us, we're going to be gently and slowly helping all of these pathways to do a better job and to help eliminate and to help unclog some of our clogged drains. And I want to highlight the gently, because my background, I'm a naturopathic physician. Before doTERRA, one of my specialties, and through doTERRA, has been cleansing. And let me tell you, just like Asha said with the Mythbusters, all types of cleansing. I did work for 10 years with juice fasting and master cleanse and all of that kind of stuff, and really intense ways of cleansing. I've kind of seen all the possibilities. And one of the reasons I fell in love with doTERRA was in fact this cleanse, because it is so effective yet so gentle, and it helps us go very gently through these pathways so we don't have shock waves in our system kind of like unclogging the drain, right? That's where we can get these what we call detox symptoms. So let's go on, Ash. And I loved how Dr. Hill talks about this idea with and I've agree with him and have talked about it too with doTERRA, that this is not so much a cleanse but just a healing our gut, overhauling our gut, helping our microbiome, however you want to say it. Yeah, Lindsay's going like this. However you want to say, helping us get back to health within the center of our physical and then all of our other bodies, so that everything else can run smoothly, because the center of our physical being is our gut.
Joes, I'm going to stop you for one quick second. I hear somebody rumbling. If you wouldn't mind, if you could just check, and if everybody could mute themselves till the end, till we have questions, I super appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So when you mentioned, Asha, right, if people wanted to reboot with their mental emotional state, we know 70 or upwards % of our serotonin and dopamine, the neurotransmitters that help us keep balance within our mood that come from our brain, are actually instigated and first started in our gut. The connection, the gut-brain connection, is vitally important for our mental emotional well-being. So what we want to do, though, is at first support and nourish our cells, right? You can't get your body to do spring cleaning, to unclog the drain before first being like, have a good breakfast, fed, right? Nourished at a cellular level. When you ask the body to do that and you're not nourished and you don't have the adequate supplies to go through that overhaul and that cleaning, that's when you don't feel great. That's when you have what we call, people have talked about detox symptoms. So the doTERRA baseline that we're going to be working with phase 1 is really about creating that foundation of nutritional and cellular support to give your body what it needs to be now, like to go in for the workout. The workout's going to happen a little bit more in phase 2, but it happens in phase 1 as well. Everything that we do in phase 1, it's like getting your body ready. But if you are newer to gut work, to natural health, to cleansing, you are going to experience a little bit of that potentially even in phase 1. So let's go over, Asha.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop for a second and find out.
Is there
any little mouses? I'm sorry. I'm trying to eliminate the mouse.
There's nothing on mine.
I think I found our mouse. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. So
one of the things, before we get into the doTERRA supplements in the regime for phase 1, which, right, we're going to start on Monday. And so we'd like to do this call right fast backwards on Saturday to give everyone, it's the weekend, that time for food prep, for prepping, so that we can really kind of get going, start on Monday. Now, with this, one of the reasons we kind of, like I did that little video that was expressing this is less of a cleanse, potentially, the doTERRA supplement regime, than it is a heal your gut, overhaul your gut, because we are not focusing on the food in terms of telling you what to do. We're not giving you like, this is exactly what you do. We're giving these basic guidelines, and we are letting everyone here and people choose where they are, what they would like to do on top of the phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 regime of our oils and our supplements. So let's go over that for a moment. So level 1, here's where we said, if you were brand new to cleansing, if this is your first or second time, or if you've had some difficulty in the past, one of the suggestions is to start at level 1. Work with all of what we are talking about with our supplements and our supplementation and our oils, and then really just focus on the things, the best practices that Asha spoke about, and focusing on really staying very good with your hydration and your water. And that, it says that could be level 1. Also within level 1, you could say 1 or 2 things that you would like to focus on. Sugar, I would suggest, is probably one of the best places to start. Some people look at, the top things would be alcohol, caffeine, sugar. Those would be the first big, or if like are there. Okay, so those would be the first kind of easy low hanging fruit that I would say go for. And then the next big
but wait a minute, you could also, I just want to say you could work on them. It doesn't mean you have to eliminate them. Maybe you just want to cut back.
Maybe you just
in level
1. So here's the point. You get to decide, and you get to get support. In our Facebook group, everyone loves to talk about this and give support. And there's a lot of people who've been through all of these, who've been through the Whole30, who've been through elimination diet. So this is where the community is vital and so helpful. And then I would say the fourth low-hanging fruit might be someone who's been thinking about totally trying gluten-free or less gluten. Again, you get to decide what, maybe you've done some food sensitivity testing and you're like, what came up on my test was corn. And I never did anything about that. I think I just want to try not eating any corn for a month. And, you get to decide what your challenge is. Okay. Level 2 is taking it up a notch. There is a thing called the basic elimination. It's an anti-inflammatory diet. So I'm going to show you on the Facebook page. We have these. So in the guide section, we're going to show you on our Facebook page. This is where we have all of our resources. So we have resources about the elimination / anti-inflammatory diet and what that is. And you could look at that and say, I want to go for that. Level 3 would be doing the Whole30 program. This is more of a program. It's like you're really going for a specific thing. There's so much support on it on the internet. We have a lot of support materials on our website. It's something that I suggest not doing unless you're kind of a little familiar with it and this isn't your first time working with our cleanse, because it's a whole program. So, but there's a lot of people who are very excited.
I wanted to add is that whether you choose level 1, 2, or 3 for your food, all 3 of these we're going to be taking the herbs with. Okay. Unless the person who invited you, the wellness advocate you're working with, you have a specific goal in mind and you're going to avoid this or that specifically for your condition, we're all going to be taking the herbs. But this is just, what do we eat while we're going through the process and eating the herbs, right?
Correct. Okay, let's go on. Talk about our actual supplementation and oils. So I think hopefully everyone has kind of been checking out our different, we done this in different ways, whether you like to look at pictures or charts about what we're doing through the 3 phases, right? And don't get, weirded out like about the 3 phases. It's 30 days and each phase is 10 days, right? So we have phase 1 is the first 10 days, phase 2 is the middle 10 days, and phase 3 is the last 10 days. And so what we're focusing on in the first 10 days is that, like, getting, can use all kinds of analogies, getting the engine going for that big, that big clean out, that big spring cleanse, that like unclogging the drain, and getting that nutrition at a cellular level in there, making sure your body has the right cofactors for those detoxification pathways to support them to be like working at their best to be able to do what we want them to do. So we're going to be I want
to stop you, Josie, because I want people to really take that in. I actually want you to repeat that, because this is so important to having a successful cleanse, is to be nourished. What Josie just said, the foundational product, Lifelong Vitality, right here, is what helps to nourish ourselves so that we have a successful process. That's really important. Thank you for saying that, Liz.
So if you wanted to get the take home from this great slide, it's to notice what it's like when you take what, where, what, and when. And so what Asha was pointing to was that notice how the Terrazyme, which is a digestive enzyme, and the Zendicrine complex. So I'm going to say the white bottle because it's confusing because then we have the Zendicrine soft gels in the black bottle. Okay, so so the Zendicrine complex and the Terrazyme and the Lifelong Vitality. Notice how that they have that boxes 1 through 30. You're taking that the entire time. And also the lemon in the water. So that bottle of lemon down. That's all the time. These products, many of us take this all the time anyways. After we do a cleanse, we realize the value of them. And pretty much within our daily lives, cleanse, not cleanse, I work with the LLV, Terrazyme, and the Zendicrine complex and lemon and citrus oils daily, all the time. So those are baselines. And so, but that's the baseline for the cleanse. That's not going to change. The things that change are in the beginning. So the first 10 days, we're adding in the black bottle of the Zendicrine soft gels. That's the oil blend in a soft gel. So that's starting to ask your body, hey, wake up a little bit. We want to start supporting the detox pathways, the Zendicrine soft gels along with the complex together with the Terrazyme, and it all starts to layer and add in this beautiful way. It's like, hey, we're going to get the brooms out soon, right? That's
wake
what
up. Wake up.
Wake up. And so notice then what you have is the GX Assist is days 11 through 20. So that's that middle 10 days. The GX Assist is the big guns. This is the killer. It's an herbal kind of like, we want to root out the blackberries. If you live in the Pacific Northwest or invasive species, that's really like a problem in any gardening, is like the blackberry bushes, right? Any kind of invasive species that you want to root out and get out of your soil, your garden, your gut, your microbiome. That's what GX Assist is helping to do.
It's
and
the roto-rooter. If
yes,
Josie's analogy of the clogged drain, this is the roto-rooter.
Yeah. And then we come in, we only do that for 10 days. And then we come in and we bring in the fertilizer, right? Helping to nourish the cells and the microbiome with good probiotics and oils that are helping all of our systems in ways to be at their optimum level is the DDR Prime and the PB Assist. So you see those are in the last 10 days. So this is really, that's what we're working with. Let's go. Did you add in? Oh, we didn't. We added in for many people. I just want to do a shout out here, Asha, right? For the Slim and Sassy and the fiber.
Oh, right.
That's fine. The 2 extras. So
I can actually pop that up, Jose. I can pop that up a
little
bit later.
Fine.
But
you'll see it
can
on
I just say one thing about this standard here? One thing I wanted to point out is, so this sheet is a checklist. Some people love lists. And if you like to check boxes off to keep track, that's what this sheet is for, okay? But I want to point out the Terrazyme, right? This is one of our best friends, as Josie said. Many of us take this every single day anyway. We actually recommend in this cleanse that you take it not just one with each meal, but I keep it by my bed. I take one first thing in the morning. I actually take 5 a day. I take one first thing in the morning with my water right next to my bed, and then I'll take one right before bed. Okay, this is optional, but it's what I do, and I really enjoy it. And then for the cleanse, we're going to take one with each meal. Yes. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay.
I'll talk about that because we'll have the Q&As and the stuff, and definitely there's a little bit alternate trips that we have about stuff. That's what we love to tell you about.
I want to grab that slide on this
a little bit more or alternate ways of using definitely the Terrazyme and the Zendo complex. And so again, we'll talk about the Slim and Sassy. I just want to give a shout out to why so Slim and Sassy is I don't like that, name. I love calling it the metabolic blend. This blend helps boost your metabolism and helps balance your blood sugar. It is phenomenal. It is so helpful to be using if you're working with cravings, low energy, after meals, before meals.
Touch it.
So this is what it looks like. And there's 2 main ways people use this. When you start using it, so I just literally carry it in my purse. I have it after a meal. It's like a breath freshener, a thing. It's that cleanser. But I also mostly use it for any time like craving. I want to help balance, or I'm getting low blood sugar, high or low blood sugar, right? In between, if you're changing up your diet, that can be an issue for people. It's so helpful, everyone. So I literally carry it like this, and I go, that should signify 3 drops. My tip to you, some people like to drink it in their water. I like my water to be more like just citrus oils. And then I like to put this straight in my mouth. Some people like to put it in their water. You get to play with that. Now, it's strong. The ingredients in this are cinnamon, peppermint, ginger, lemon, and grapefruit. That cinnamon, peppermint, and ginger together is kind of strong. So, pro tip, first time working with this, always look in a mirror while you're getting the kind of distances and getting it in your mouth, and like how fast does it come out. It's just helpful to do that for like the first 1 or 2 times as you kind of get used to it, and work for 1 drop on your first dose and work with that for your first few doses. We'll talk about the like, I want to lose weight and I want support with that, with my metabolism. The high dose for a period of time is you can go all the way up to 5 drops at a time, 5 times a day. That's a lot, and it's very effective and helpful, but you go slowly up with that. Okay. So the average thing is about 2 to 3 drops, 2 to 3 times a day. That's how I use it on a daily basis. My other tip with the fiber powder, you guys, everyone, I'm in love. Okay. And when
Serious, you guys.
So here it is. It's become my new, I actually have to have it. You can in the morning and the evening. So my big aha was putting it in warm, hot water, making it into a tea. Oh my goodness. Can you say mulled cider?
Hot cider. It's like homemade cider from a farm, the cloudy one, you know, the kind of real apple cider. Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
So delicious. So here's my tip. You can do one, you could take a double dose. So I've actually been doing 1 scoop with it in the morning. And so if you do, one of the things to help stimulate your liver, people love to do, is warm water with some fresh squeezed like lemon juice, or they use vinegar, a vinegar. You can put the fresh squeezed lemon juice or the vinegar in with your fiber powder in the warm water and drink that in the morning. You don't have to. You can just do the fiber powder. It has a delicious, it's sweet with alternate sweeteners. It does not raise your blood sugar, and it's lemony. But you can add those in with the cleanse. And then I also love it as my sweet treat beverage in the evening, like before bed. So you can break it up and do half a scoop and half a scoop, or you could do a whole scoop and a whole scoop.
And so just for the people that don't realize, fiber helps remove toxins from the colon. So getting this little extra is going to support the cleanse, right? It's going to help you release and get the gunk out of we're unclogging the drain. I love your metaphor.
I used to tell people to use a lot of the Zendocrine complex, and I think we're not going to use quite as much because we have the fiber powder now. The fiber powder, it's not in the place of vegetables and fiber, but it's in addition. So when we're cleansing, you cannot have too much fiber. We want to help move all of our everything out of the body as we're cleansing. That's one of the main kind of things we're trying to do. So adding in, and this is a beautiful blend of different kinds of fibers and a lot of really good prebiotic fibers are the fibers that your good gut bugs in your gut and your microbiome need to eat to flourish. So it feeds the good guys, but not the bad guys.
Okay, we're going to go back. I'm just going to keep us going so we have time for questions. So I want to, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, please do. The Healthy You Cleanse Facebook group looks like this, okay? And Josie's going to share her screen in a minute and take you through where you need to find the information, but it used to be called units. It's now called guides. Okay, so we have guide 1. Everything you need for this phase 1 is in guide 1. Okay, so please join. This is where you're going to get a lot of the recipes, support. I'm going to pop in there with different exercises. Some of them will be meditation, some will be maybe little qigong, little movement, maybe stuff for affirmations and mood. But you're going to get a lot of support here. And we're going to have great guest speakers talking about different things to support your self-care. So go ahead, Joes, you can take us in.
I'm going
share
to,
your screen.
yes.
And I will check the chat at the end and see if people place their questions there if they don't want to come off mute and ask their questions at the end.
I hope, is it,
You want me to do mine?
well, it's not giving me the option of, let me see. Can you guys see the healthy use?
Yeah, we
Oh,
can.
great. Okay, so it worked. So what I just want to quickly show you guys. So, right, discussion is where when you post anything, when you have a question, when you're talking to everyone during the cleanse, that's where you're going to be in discussion. Guides, as Asha said, is where we have all of our information. So that's where your reference, it's like your library. So guide 1, and notice how you come in here and then it says see 9 more. Let's press that. And so this is where this is all like getting ready, all the prep. And then notice, and then we go meet us. So you can guide 2 is about meeting us. Guide 3 is here's where you get all of those different resource materials about food, about the different ones. So we have the elimination diet here. We have something if you want to focus on like sugar and eliminating that. And then we have a gluten-free, and there's 8 more. And then in fact, there's a vegetarian
30, there's
30.
recipes.
Look at all this. Here's the whole 30 stuff.
Yep.
So it's not until guide 4 that we get into the active stuff about phase 1. So it's like that's all the preps, all the things. And then here is an old, but this is our evergreen one of me talking you through, if you want a little more detail about the supplements, about the why and which of the supplements. Here's a video, here's something on water, right? So here's stuff from cleanses we've done in the past. So you can pre and watch those if you'd like a little more support. And then phase 2, right? So we have the sections, phase 3. And then I just want you to see there's also extra cleansing castor oil packs, dry skin
brushing.
We're hoping Dr. Louise is going to come and do a live video about those things as well, because we love that support from her and Soul. So I just wanted to briefly show these to you. And I want to, pro tip, point out to everyone back in guide 1.
Guide 1.
Come down and see this. The symptom score pre and post cleanse. So this is a symptom tracker list. And so you click on there, it brings you to here, and then you click again, open it, and then you download it. And here it is. Why is this important? Notice its symptoms, and you're just checking them off, and you're gonna, and you can do a 1 through 10. See how it says a point scale. It helps you know or it's 1 through 4, 0 through 4. And then that's all this is, okay? Why is this important? I highly recommend this. As a practitioner, the one thing I can tell you that is true is when you have a symptom, when you are in pain, when you're in suffering with something, it's at the front of your consciousness. As soon as it goes away, it's gone. How many of you have had more than one baby? I don't think I need to say anything else. Like that's what keeps our species going. However, I would have people come in and like talk about the most intense symptoms and pain or things they were going through. And then they'd come back and it would be like from a 9 to a 1, right? On intensity scale. And they wouldn't remember that they had it. And they're like, yeah, I don't know what we're doing is working that well.
Exactly.
Because nothing's really changed. And I would, literally, it's not like one person. This is almost everybody. You have to like bring out the symptom tracker and say, wow, that's interesting. Because here's what you said 3 weeks ago. So it's really helpful for you to like get a sense of where you are now and then where you are later, because your own conscious mind might not be a good historian. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say for that. And then just a second, I'm going to bring us back. And now I want to show everybody. Do I have it? That. Okay.
I wanted to also make a shout out in guide 1. There's a blood analysis video.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
someone, there's a technician who recorded someone's blood before and after the cleanse. And you guys, it is a huge eye opener. I highly recommend watching that video too. That's in guide 1.
Yes, it's really fantastic. And I can tell you, I have done blood analysis a few times, and it is with oils and the same results. It is mind blowing and pretty incredible. So our website, if you do not know our team's visionary leader, we have a whole website, and it is hellovisionary.life. So if you haven't been there, please write this down. Lots of other support materials, but I want to bring everyone to, here is where the landing page, the home page, and under oil education, we come down and 1, 2, 3, 4 under my section about the vitamins. So if you want to know more about the LLV and why we're stressing this so much and why we love it, I have a 2-hour lecture you can listen to about it. No, maybe it's just an hour. I don't know. About the LLV, but there's a whole section here. So there's more in depth on that. And then look at what we just created. I'm very excited about this. Just done for the cleanse for us, Symphony of the Cells. So click on here and we have a page. So I'm going to be just doing a little bit of videos and a little bit of reference on our cleanse page about Symphony. And we have chosen 3 protocols, Symphony protocols, to be highlighting during this cleanse.
To support each phase.
Yes, one for each of the phases. And so it is by no means something anyone has to do. It is an add-on. If this is your first time going through, then you take your time with this. All of the support materials about what is Symphony of the Cells, how do I do it, why am I doing it? It's here. We're not going to have that on the cleanse page. So you can be asking questions, but I'm going to refer people back to here for a lot of things. I'm just going to give you a sense of what is on here. And the reference book is, here's where you order it. Now, for the cleanse, you do not need the reference book. We have put support materials up here. And we talk about the cleanse, and notice where I say we'll be focusing on 3 protocols. The lymphatic protocol is what we're going to be working with this 10 days, the first phase 1. The digestive protocol, we're going to work in the second 10 days of phase 2. And the solar protocol is the one we're going to be working with in phase 3. Here's an overview.
We're going to have to stop in a minute because we have 10 minutes left for
questions. I know. So
okay.
Here is the overview. It's 20 minutes about being safe, why, how, everything. So please, everyone, watch that if you plan on doing symphonies. Here are demonstrations, how to do one on a bed or a treatment table, how to do one on a chair, how to do one on yourself. Here is a thing about how to be safe, like choosing an application, help you feel into that. And notice we have pictures of the lymphatic, the digestive, and the solar. You're asking like, what are the oils? What do I need? Here it is. If you are new and you only have like the basic enrollment kit of what we call the top 10 oils, the Symphony that you want to do through the entire cleanse is the basic. So you go right here to the basic. And this is what you do if you just have a few oils. Yeah. Now, the oil substitution chart I will be talking about on the cleanse page. That is very helpful because you might not have all of these oils in time to order them. But that chart tells you for each one of these oils, 3 alternates. So chances are you can look at what's in the protocol, and then you can go to the substitution chart and figure out a protocol that's similar within what you have. Okay. So, and then there's these supports. So that's
Awesome.
exciting. And that's my little
Oh,
extra.
great.
Yeah.
Yay. This is amazing. And
Okay.
remember when I said in the beginning that we have multiple bodies. We have physical, mental, emotional, and causal body. Symphony of the Cells is one of these ways we can nourish all of the bodies as we go through this process. So thank you so much for creating that, Dr. Josie. Amazing. Okay, people, now is your time to be able to ask questions. And I'm just going to scan the chat for a minute, but if you know you have a question or a comment, or if you want to unmute yourself, you can do that now.
I see a question here from Dr. Priya asking about the fiber powder. Is it soluble or non-soluble? Some fibers like psyllium expand in the gut. Exactly. Back in the day when I was working with cleanses, we would just have people go buy very simple psyllium powder. And it's true. For some people, it can have an opposite reaction and expand in the gut and actually constipate them, which is the opposite of what we want to have happen. And I found that especially with like peri and postmenopausal women. So what I love about this is it's a really broad and nice blend. It's both soluble and insoluble. It has prebiotic, postbiotic fibers. They did a very good job with this. So there's going to be, we always have that bell curve. There are going to be people that for some reason, maybe one of the ingredients they actually have a sensitivity to or an issue with. But, you know, and so there's going to be for some people for whom it's not working, and we'll just have to figure that out. But what I'm seeing is that on the broad bell curve level, it's a really great product. Does anyone else have anything they want to say about the new fiber powder?
I spotted another question that I'd love to address, and if people don't, if I don't think anybody's coming off mute about the fiber, but, and maybe you haven't tried it yet, but definitely check it out. It's very affordable and it is delicious. Like we said, I think it tastes like apple cider. So the question in there in the chat that is really important and relevant is, I am breastfeeding. Is all of this applicable to me? And I have other breastfeeders who are joining us in the cleanse. I would say the middle Roto-Rooter part is what we're going to avoid. I would avoid the Zendocrine gel caps that's in a brown or black bottle with an orange label, Zendocrine, and the GX Assist with the red label. If you take those two out and you do the prep, and then you continue with Lifelong Vitality citrus water for the whole thing, you have your choice of foods, and then you go into the nourishing third phase of probiotic and DDR prime, you're going to be set, and it's safe for breastfeeding. If you need any more information, please direct message me and I will share with you.
Yes, Asha, that's it. On a gentle level, the Zendocrine white bottle complex, like 1 a.m. and p.m. That's as much as I would take of that. I find it supportive and gentle, but you don't want to overdo it. So yes, we've had a lot of breastfeeding mamas work with us, and you don't want to ask your body to go into active detox and cleansing while you were breastfeeding. And so you just want to be kind of nourishing and supporting your body to be doing its own natural processes, but you don't want to actually have that Saturday where you're like going and cleaning out with the broom and stuff.
And also notice your baby. Notice if there are any changes in your baby. Crying, skin, anything. So just be very attuned to that. I'm sure you would be. Does anybody else have a question or comment?
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Maya, and I'm here with my friend Hayria. We're both doing the cleanse, and thank you, ladies, for putting this together. We're very excited. One thing that I wanted to ask, lately I've been hearing that with cleanses that you should be using binders. So I don't know if this is something that this cleanse already has something that would act as a binder to draw all the toxins out, or this is purely enough to get all the toxins out of your system?
Yes. So that's the role of the Terrazyme away from food, the Zendocrine complex,
Mhm,
and the fiber powder.
mhm,
Those three together with increased fiber in your diet. So we talked about, like, I apologize for that in the food section, all the things you take out.
mhm.
Really, a lot of cleansing if we focus more on what we bring in. So
Right.
if you could just not take things out, but actively focus on more vegetables,
Mhm.
a little bit of more fruit, but a lot of more vegetables, that's a better focus, actually. Like, just in the cleansing I used to do, we would have people eat so many salads and raw vegetables, like that their mouths hurt, like literally. You're just chewing all day long. It was like massive amounts. And they're like, I can't eat this. We're like, I know, but you got to try. So if you can bring that in, those are great. That's the binders that are the best. Something like charcoal tablets, it's kind of like a cheat around, and it's if you can use charcoal tablets if you are having a particularly, that's how I use it, is if you're having a hard time and you feel like there's particularly, like, your body is liberating some stuff and it feels really toxic in there and you really want to get it out. But as a baseline with your cleanse to be doing it every day, the Zendocrine complex and the Terrazyme together are so much more effective and better for you. And they're double and triple dipping on a lot of other actions. And the problem with the charcoal, it absorbs everything. So if you have some good stuff in your belly that are nutrients that you're trying to absorb and stuff, the charcoal is going to absorb that too.
Yeah. Also
Yeah.
the citrus water, you guys. The citrus water is a big flush and take it out too. So, and I just want to also say that this cleanse in its totality was created as a complete system. All of these things you're talking about, Maya, were thought about when it was created. It's really thoughtful and it works really, really well. So
Okay. Well,
thank you so much for that question.
thank you.
Yeah, someone's asking about if this will be, yes, so this is recorded and it will be posted on the cleanse page. So people, we know that not everyone can make it right now. And so Maya, I'll talk about that more, but let me just say it here. The beginning baseline is to take one Terrazyme 5 times a day, right? Some like 3 meals.
Yeah.
And then one when you wake up and one before bed. You can take a lot more than that during the cleanse. So, like, a lot, like, I like to take, when I'm cleansing, I like to take 2 in the morning and 2 before bed.
Okay.
And then I take more. It depends on what your meals are like now. And then when I take just like 1 when I'm cleansing, because I'm not eating any bad stuff, you know what I'm saying? There's not, like, usually during meals, I will take more Terrazymes, like 2 to 3, because there might be some stuff in that meal that's harder for me to digest. Does that make sense? So you get to work with that. Now, when I taught everyone, here's also the thing. When I talk to someone about going up in things, might be for a level 2 or level 3 cleanser. So if you're new, always start gently with just one thing and take it up slowly. Okay, so don't just go into what I'm saying. Don't just go like, I'm going to do 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening without first starting with just one. But I've been doing this a long time. And so I do actually 2 Terrazyme and 2 Zendocrine complex morning and evening when I'm in my full cleanse phase. I don't do that always, but I'm asking my body to do some more stuff. So that's kind of like more like a level 2, level 3.
Okay, I have one more question here from Megan, who was saying that she had bought the veggie gel caps and the DDR and Zendocrine oil to create her own gel caps. And she's asking if she can do that ahead of time and store them. You know, those veggie gel caps are tricky. I've had some clients do this. I've had them, they've made their little things out ahead of time and put them in a case and just sat them there very gently, and it worked. I've had other people say they crack and fall apart and the oil spills out. So I actually recommend doing it before you use it. You could try doing a full day and setting it out and see if yours, if you don't click the top, there's a bottom piece and a top piece. And if you just close it very gently and lay it flat, you're going to have a better time. But if you try and really click the veggie plastic together, sometimes it can crack. So I'd say just experiment, but mostly I do it right before I'm going to use it.
Mandy says if you freeze them, it helps. Yeah, so there's a tip. I mean, most of the time, it also, those gel caps are just not that, the oil eats through the gel cap, basically. So it'll just disintegrate too, or you'll get some, and like you don't want to carry it, and you want to have it in a plastic bag if you do that. So usually we say, it'll last for half a day, couple hours, so you can kind of prep, you can play with it, but in general, it's iffy. It's one of the reasons we love the DDR gel caps so much. They're back in, but since you ordered it, definitely work with that. I can tell you, I use so much DDR oil blend. It's one of my favorite blends all the time in life to use on the bottoms of my feet, on my lower belly and my lower back in the morning. It's part of my morning routine for healthy cells and healthy everything and clearing my space. It's very good for progesterone support. It's good on so many levels. So it's definitely not an oil you will not use. If you choose to then, now that they're back in, you want to order some of the gel caps because they do make it so much easier.
Okay, so we are at the top of the hour and I want to be very mindful of everybody's time. I want to thank each one of you so much for being here. I'm so excited to do this process with you. I'm going to turn the recording off now, and if you want to hang out and chat with us for a few more minutes, you can. Just want to pause this.